Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum class. I hope that you're doing well. My name is Zia. My dear learners, for English 11, today we are going to cover a student's learning outcome of oral communication competency. Now, this is very important and it should be really such an interactive class. So I need your maximum input, your attention so that you can understand this, because communicating orally in English is such a nice, such a good skill to have. It is very important in different scenarios in your academics and in your professional life. So let's get started. So let's talk about our SLOs. Here, this is lecture number 9. Today we have 2 SLOs of oral communication linked together. The purpose is same, to give you an understanding of how you should speak confidently using these different scenarios, different strategies and techniques. Now, first let's read our first student's learning outcome, and then we will later on read this part and then proceed with our lesson. Now, first we have perform a drama or role play or a play script showing different roles and scenarios through deliberate choice of dialogues or speech. Now, my dear learners, we know that when we are communicating orally, when we are having a conversation, when we are giving interview for a job or in general, we need to be very much aware of the skill of oral communication. We need to be good speakers, good listeners, and somebody who has a good understanding when we are listening to people. Now, listening, responding, and speaking, these are very important strategies, important skill that you must have. So you can ask your questions in the midway. You can type it in the chat box. You can just raise your hands, people who have just joined us on Zoom. And those of you who are seeing me on and watching this lecture on YouTube, you can type it in the comments. Your answers, your input is very much appreciated. Now, so in order for you to practice that oral communication, to have that confidence in you so that you can communicate in the English language, this is our goal, and we will be achieving it using performing a drama. Whenever we have an opportunity, we can create one in our class with our friends, with our peers. We can perform a drama on any occasion, on any specific function. Now, then let's talk about speaking confidently and fluently. Now, developing confidence is very important, and we will be doing it fluently in a wide range of contexts. For example, when we are resolving any kind of problem, when we are resolving any conflict, any problem, or we are in a panel discussion, we are being interviewed, or we are actually the interviewer in some cases. So role playing, dialogues, we'll talk about that also. They are very important to enhance your capability, your capacity of speaking in English and generally communicating in English effectively. Now, it can be of different purpose. Why do we speak? We speak for different purposes. Yes, when sometimes we are in a debate, we are addressing so many different people in the audience. They are our listeners. They want to listen to our ideas. Or when we are in a debate, we are in an argument. So all those scenarios, all these scenarios that I've mentioned before you, they require your confidence to communicate with it better. Now, let's see. So first, I just need you to be very critical about this question. You need to think that, imagine a world where there is no concept of talking, there is no speaking, no verbal communication at all. Now, in that scenario, if you couldn't talk, how would your life be different? Yes, we rely heavily on verbal communication. We also do non-verbal communication as well, with gestures, with our expressions, our body language. You are already familiar with it. You can observe it in your daily life, whether you're watching a play, a performance, you're watching television, you're consuming entertainment. You can see that non-verbal clues, non-verbal communication is also very important. So, but now we are talking about verbal communication. Of course, it includes your non-verbal clues. When you're moving your head, you're nodding, you're shaking your head, you are gesturing with your hands, etc. So if there was no speech at all, life would have been really different. We would not be able to express ourselves, express our ideas, and there will be a very different life. Yes, if you have your inputs, you can just share it with me. Now, let's talk about all these different kind of things that need your confidence. So in order to boost your confidence, you should participate in these different activities, in different performances. Let's talk about drama, which is a very important kind of it's a very important aspect of art, of performance, where you can get the opportunity to enhance your speaking. Now, when we are talking about drama in English, we know that drama comes from Greek words meaning to do or to act. So all we are doing is acting out. We are doing the actions. We are actually acting. So a drama or play is basically a story acted out. And every play, whether it's serious or humorous, it's full of comedy, it's old, ancient, or it's related to contemporary issues, it's related to modern times, all of those needs your performance. It tells a story through characters in situations that imitate human life. Now, we also play different roles in our lives. We can see different characters in our lives. Now, we can act them out. We can perform a drama. We can get an opportunity to perform it on stage. And after that you have done it, you can see a very big change in you, in your confidence, if you are learning to communicate in the English language. So a drama is actually a story that is acted out on stage, on live on stage, with characters, with dialogues, different gestures, emotions, expressions, and feelings. Now, let's talk about play. Now, what is a play? A play is actually just like it's a subfield of drama. Drama is the broader category and play is a part of it. So a play is a form of storytelling performed live on stage. It involves characters, dialogue, and actions, and is usually divided into acts and scenes. So plays, first, a play is written on a paper which we call a play script. Then we divide the characters between among ourselves. We act them out. We learn the dialogues, and then we act them out live on stage. It tells a story. It has an action, a plot. It has all the necessary things that is needed to be added in a story. So this is storytelling that you can act out. So try to participate in any kind of opportunity, any drama that is being offered, that is being played in your school, in your college. So now let's talk about, yes, one thing left is that a play can have different acts, and each act, let's say it's a 4-act play, each act will have different scenes. So now let's talk about a play script. Let's say if you have decided to participate in a play and you are performing on the stage live, you are acting out, and you have been given a character to perform with actions, with all that necessary direction that is being directed to you. Now, for that purpose, you need a play script, which is the written text of a play. It includes the dialogue that the characters speak. So each character has different set of dialogues, different speeches, monologues, and instructions for the actors and directors, such as where do you move, how do you move, and how do you express, and also the stage directions that is also included in the play script. The script is like a blueprint that guides the performance. Now, this is what a play script is. Now, the purpose of introducing all these different techniques, these strategies, and all of these terminologies with definitions is to let you know that in order to enhance your oral communication, you can actually participate in such activities to actually enhance your communication. And that includes how do you express yourself, how do you move, how do you use your gestures, and how you can play a role. So this is really important. This is what a play script was. It looks something like this. Let's say if you're reading a play script of any famous play that has been performed on stage many times, so it would be looking like this. Here is an act. This is act 1, and an act, as we talked about it, it has various different scenes. So this is scene 1. This is the whole setting, the instructions, and then all these are your dialogues. These are your dialogues. It is every dialogue is mentioned with the name of the character. Now, let's talk about another strategy of increasing, enhancing, developing your oral communication. You want to be good speakers, good communicators, good conversationalists. So you can do one thing, what we call a role play. A role play is where you play a role. You act out, you fake it out, and you just deliver the actions and the dialogues of that role, of that character. So role play is what we refer to two or more people, they are acting out particular roles within a scenario. Let's say if I take out two students over here and assign them each one role to asking them to perform it. So they are just role playing. You can be a cop, a policeman, you can be a burglar, or you can just act out many different scenarios that you can see that occurs in daily life. A shopkeeper, a customer, etc. So there are unlimited scenarios that you have. So by role playing, by performing it with your friends, with your siblings, your fellows, your whole group of friends, you can actually enhance your speaking skills, your oral communication. Now, till now, if you have any kind of question or confusion about today's lesson, students' learning outcome, or if you have any input, comment, or suggestion, they are welcome. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about a play performance. So, as we talked about it, a play is what we perform on the stage. It's a story that we tell by actions, by dialogues, and by using different characters. A play performance is the enactment of a written play script on stage. It involves actors bringing characters to life through dialogue, gestures, movements, and expressions. Dialogues are the written verbal words that a character utter out, and gestures are, as I'm doing right now, these are different gestures. And movements is how you move when you are delivering your dialogues, and expressions are related to your face. So when you're frowning, if you are angry, you frown. If you're happy, you smile or you laugh out loud. So these are all your facial expressions. Now, let's talk about all these different things that I've talked about it. Dialogue first. They are the spoken words or of characters in a play. So, and the movements are actions or motions made by characters to convey meaning. If you are someone who like watching films, TV shows, you can see that different characters have different movements, the way of movement, their body language is different. And then we have gestures. These are your physical movements of hands or body. Moving on to your expressions, they are related to your face. They are facial changes that show emotions and reactions. Now, all these things combined, they are adding in your communication. It will help you, they will help you in conveying the message that you want to send. Now, let's talk about another term mentioned in our students' learning outcome, which is scenario. Now, what's a scenario? It's different than a scene. It's a broader term, and a scenario in a play is the situation. Now, every play, as you can observe, every film, TV shows, they have different scenarios. And the scenes are acted out in that scenario, in that situation. It could be a happy situation, like some bad one, a mixed one. So the story unfolds in that situation. It sets the stage for the characters' interactions and helps drive the plot. Now there are different scenarios. Let's say there's a family drama, a family conflict, a problem in the family, and all the family members are just acting out. Then you have, let's say, a setting of a school. It's a play that is based in the school. There may be a problem of, there may be a protagonist like a boy or a girl who's a student. So there could be different scenarios, different problems. And then we have an adventure or a quest where the situation is that the characters are trying to find and trying to do an adventure or find a quest. They're looking for a treasure, etc. Now, all these are different scenarios. There are many of them. You can search it. You can make a list of them. Now, let's talk about speaking confidently. You have to have a confidence in you to speak. Now, for that purpose, what we do is we do class discussions. We do a prompt, we do a class discussion on any topic so that all the students in the class are actually participating in the discussion, so that even the person, the student who is not very talkative can participate in it, and they can learn about their skills and their shortcomings. So they can actually participate and be more confident. Again, we do role play. The teacher can call out different students, give them some roles, and ask them to just act them out. Then we can introduce debates on different topics, and then we have our presentations. So if you, as a student, you should not miss any of this opportunity in your class, in your school or college, or in your institute, to let out, to perform and participate in all these given scenarios. So you need to be very much passionate about these activities. They are very important in enhancing your oral communication. Now, you can see a simulation link over here. You can play it on later. It's a play that is added for you. You can watch this play, you can enjoy it, and you can just share your observations. Now, for your homework, what you're supposed to do is just write a simple dialogue between two people about a familiar situation, such as ordering food. Let's say there are three siblings who have decided to order food. Now just act out this, just write this scene on paper like a play script, make it into different acts, different scenes, and then perform it. Students can practice performing the dialogue with a partner. You have to have at least one partner with you who can help you with the performance. Now, my dear learners, Since this is oral communication, all you have to do is just you can reread this PPT, this PowerPoint presentation in front of you. You can solve a worksheet that will be shared with you about all those concepts that we have learned. Thank you so much for listening. Now we can take our questions from the students, from the listeners who have joined us online. Okay. Is everything clear? I just need your response. Good. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Good. So, what did we learn today? Let's summarize it quickly. We know that language has different competencies, different skills. And one of them is that oral communication that includes your speaking, your listening, understanding it, and speaking confidently, most importantly. Now, for that purpose, we saw two different student learning outcomes. We combined them together. One was about performance, and you can perform a drama or a play. We talked about play, what is a play script, what's a play performance, and we talked about role play. And then we talked about some tips and tricks that we can do when we want to enhance and increase our confidence in speaking and also our fluency. We saw that we can do class discussions, we can participate in different activities in our class, in our institute, so that we can be better speakers. So this is all about today's video lesson. It should have been really interactive, but next time we'll do a really interesting activity on oral communication. This needs a lot of input from your side so that we can actually check your understanding and your speech after that you have attended the lesson. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you in the next video lesson. Take care of yourselves. Allah Hafiz.